Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new movie review. This one is for the Wolfman. Now, the Wolfman is the latest Universal monster turned modern day horror movie. This time around, we're following a family, a father, mother, and daughter, who go off into a house in the woods until they come across a monster that hurts the father, slowly realizing that the thing they are afraid of is no longer outside but possibly in the house with them. This is Blumhouse take on the Wolfman, and since I first heard about this project, I was immediately excited to see it because of director Lee Wanell. This is someone that I just really like and admire whenever they come out with something in the horror sphere. He was the writer of those first Saw movies, Upgrade and The Invisible Man. He also directed the Invisible Man and Upgrade, just great films. So I was interested to see his take on the Wolfman. Now, let me tell you that the marketing of this film was not doing the film any favors. It was the weirdest choice to unveil the look at the Wolfman as a guy in Universal Halloween Horror Nights, and then recently somehow Universal thought it would be a good idea to just show the clip of the actual werewolf transformation free online. I mean, that's a big part of the film, and one of the things that people really want to see for the first time seeing the film. Now, after seeing the movie, I am walking off the Wolfman a little disappointed, but I don't think this is a bad movie. There was still a lot of redeemable cool things about it. So let me get into the good stuff here. Love or hate the choice of the design of the Wolfman, that will be up to you. I actually really like the unique spin on the Wolfman. The movie twists it like it's an infection, a virus, instead of having just one werewolf transformation scene. A good chunk of the movie revolves around the dad who in the trailers you see slowly becomes the Wolfman. And that kind of a slow turn and swing, a lot of his instincts go from human to animalistic, really cool. And it's highlighted a lot by the sound of the movie. That's always something you got to nail down, especially when you're doing a horror movie revolving around body horror, exaggerating and intensifying the sounds you are hearing always will make that so much better. And yeah, the sound design here is great. And also seeing the physical transformations that this character starts to go through, you also generally start to feel bad for this dad because the movie flips the perspective. You start seeing what he sees and what he's hearing. So there's this added layer of sympathy you have towards your main character that you know is just seconds away from turning into this snarling, grotesque monster. With the way the movie plays it out like that, it made me not hate the werewolf design. And going into this movie, I was not a fan of what I have seen of the werewolf design. But seeing it slowly progress and the way it plays out in the movie makes perfect sense. I'm okay with that type of spin. Also, want to give major props to the atmosphere and the mood of the movie. It mainly takes place in one location through the course of one dark, cold, and just foggy night, and the lighting is also used to its advantage when showing the perspective of the werewolf to what the humans see. It does a great job of immersing you into this night and wanting you to try and get out with these characters. There are really strong, good stuff in here that shows that this director is still good at his craft and elevates probably what would have been a very boring and basic on the hands of someone else. It still provides you with things that make this worth watching. Now I'm getting into the things I'm mixed and negative about. The Wolfman is got really cool scenes when you start to see him slowly become the Wolfman, and then the advantage and disadvantage, the the growing suspense for fear of how long he's going to stay as a person to then turning into a monster. But those themes and ideas it tries to explore feels really half baked to where when it's all said and done, the movie feels like it lacks a little closure. The father has an interesting backstory about his rough childhood with his father, where he tries to be different from his father and not make the same mistake his father did with him. Be a great father to his daughter, but also making some mistakes in the process. I just never feel that sort of payoff, or there's never really that closure. Instead, it just leaves you to a bunch of events situation happen, and I think the biggest fault is the main character, the guy who you were setting up and putting all this backstory and personality into. Well, he pretty quickly in your movie he just becomes a snarling monster, and you shift your focus to the mom and daughter who you were not really developing or giving much into. Having those themes and ideas gets a little muddy in the process, and also the movie is slow with the transformation. And the idea of a 20 to 30 minutes, it feels like they stretched this idea into a full length film, and you can see them dragging their feet and trying to fill those spaces, and it loses steam as the movie goes on. And I still enjoy what I saw. It just didn't have the finality. It's just kind of a ending, and I went, okay, it wasn't bad. It was alright.